of independence. Now you had three sides involved. You had the Black and Tans and the auxiliary forces. They were the British. And then you had the Irish Republican Army. Now the whole war was fought through guerrilla warfare, and it lasted for about 2.5 years. The only reason really why it came to an end, and that's because a truce was called. Now during that truce, it led to the Anglo-Irish Agreement, or the treaty, being signed. Now as you all know now, Eamon De Valera, he escaped being executed in 1916. He later became the president of Dáil Éireann, the Irish Parliament. Under his time in charge, another important man came into being, and his name was Michael Collins. Now Collins was sent by De Valera over to Britain to hold talks with the Prime Minister. He was told that he had to get a total 32 County of Ireland with peaceful means. When he was there, he was told that wasn't going to happen. That the best Ireland were going to get were the 26 counties in the south, but the 6 counties in the north, that they'd still remain under British rule. So Collins had to sign that treaty to declare that, because he was told that if he didn't, that a war would break out between Ireland and Britain within 3 days. And as you probably can imagine, Ireland were never going to be ready. We got severely beaten. So he signed it. But when Michael Collins returned back to Ireland again, though, he was greeted with great hostility by De Valera. See, we are told that De Valera believed that if Collins had waited just a little bit longer, he could have got the whole 32 counties if he wanted to. But we're also told that Collins believed that was the best he was going to get then, but in the future, Ireland would get the whole 32. It was like a stepping stone. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So what happened then? It's a split, according to the government and to the country. Half the people side with De Valera against the treaty, and the other side with Collins for it. These are men and women who are fighting side by side during the Rising, who are now fighting among each other. It's also during this period where you had families split apart. Fathers against the sons and daughters, mothers against their sons and daughters as well. The last thing to say, and that's when Michael Collins got assassinated, or he was shot dead during an ambush. When he died, a law was made. The law stated that if you were caught with a gun on your possession, it meant that you were going to be executed. And the first 4 men who were shot for breaking that law were actually shot right beside us today, where the plaque is. Their names: Peter Cassidy, James Fisher, John Gaffney, and Richard Toohey. They were the first 4, but they're all very, very, very young. The youngest was 18, and the oldest was only 22. So if that makes sense, and I haven't confused you totally, then we'll go that direction.